Presented by Mitmac Motors. Find your car online.
Dead to me, R.I.P. buried. 무리들이 몰려온다 사죄해라 미리. Dead to me, R.I.P. buried. 무릎 꿇고 고개 숙여 반성해라 피리. 왜 이래요? 잘못 오셨네요. 상관없는 자에게는 묻지 마세요. 성격 끝이 씻고 and I live to tell the tale. 못이 박히기 했지만 coffin in a nail. Buried so deep in your X3. 누굴 탓해? 다 네가 한 짓. I've been mute, I've been discreet. 알만한 사람 다 알아 나 in these streets. 시끌벅적 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 동네 시끄럽네요.
How's it?
R.I.P. buried, angry mouth.
I'm looking for William.
Yeah, you're speaking to him.
You're the guy that builds all the quick champs.
Yeah, they say so.
What does NF and R stand for?
Let me start with the worst one. No no ride.
Yeah.
No fuel, no ride. No fun, no ride. Yeah, but actually it's for Nissan 1400, Nissan Racing. Just don't tell me I want to build a Honda. This is my crib. This is my dad. And that's Pete.
buried. 무릎 꿇고 고개 숙여 반성해라 피리.
Can we talk about this?
The prime mod.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is going to be called Boostly. This will be Avinator's little brother, big brother. Now this will be my last pocket I'm going to build for myself.
What's the last one?
Yeah, I've built so many for myself and so many for clients, but this will be my last one. I always wanted a pro mod, full on drag, non-steel body, so this is fully fiberglass. So basically the bonnet is, and the fenders and the grille is one unit. So they won't be opening up a bonnet. So when we want to work on a motor, it will be 4 pins, pick the whole thing off, everything is open. So
What motor are you thinking of?
no, 1400 only. Okay. A14 only, same like Avinator's got. So yeah, because this is half the weight, and also we can double up the tire size.
Explain to us what is Avinator.
Avinator, that's my baby, 95 model, 1400 turbo.
Why is it called Avinator?
It's the color. Actually, one day we were looking for a name for this thing. Every bucky's got a name. And then this one day it was standing out in the sun and we were washing it. And I said, fucking Avo. You know, I smoke Avos, you know. So I said, let's call it Avinator, like Terminator, let's call it Avinator because of the green color. And let's call it Avinator, yeah, and that's where actually it came from. Yeah, so full fiberglass doors, full fiberglass cab. This is the only one in South Africa. There's never been one made. You know, doors and fenders you still get because the Oaks that uses oval cars, they've got that. But we especially had to get this cab made up. So the guy asked me why a 1400. So I said, look, because I'm just building 1400s my whole life. So I want a 1400. Yeah, this is how far we are. I'm going to change the setup at the back. I wanted to go 4-link, but I think I'm going to stick with my feather system. You know, the leaf spring system.
Yeah.
It just works for me. So it will have a full-on 1400 suspension. I'm not going to put anything fancy. It will be based on a 1400 spec because it's just a combo that works from day one. You know, all these years Oaks are racing these buckies. They've got lack of traction. They've got lack of handling. So I'm going to base it on that. It will only be a tube frame, and then we'll take it from there.
How heavy is this going to be?
I don't want it to be too light because I don't want to get airborne. So 650, I would like with me in it, 650. Avinator currently weighs 150 with all the big gearboxes and diffs and stuff. So if I can shave about 400, 450 kgs, we'll go definitely a second faster. So if I can manage to get my 9, which we're aiming with Avinator, which we're very close at, this will run 8.
What's the hardest part in doing a tube chassis race car?
Getting all the diff in the right position, steering racks, I haven't even got to that yet. But I think that's the hardest part on it. The rest is all basic, you know. And then obviously the ride height.
Yeah. How long is this project taking you till now?
3 years I'm busy with this, and that's how far I get because every day I'm busy with clients' work. So part-time I work on it little bit. So yeah, this will take me about a good 5 years before it's up and running.
William.
O, ek change alweer te vroeg.
Ja.
Hoe lyk die fueling? Kan ons bietjie boost gooi?
Check, no.
Okay, we just leave it there.
Where must you rev it to?
7, 8, we must go to 8.
He doesn't have a spot for you though.
That looks like a spike, it's a problem there, you know.
So without giving too much away, because I know you've paid your school fees and others like that,
definitely.
give us a basic rundown of what something like this entails.
So the head is basically stock, we just modify the valves, valve angles and stuff. You don't even really need to port these things when you turbocharge them. Porting doesn't help you at all. We've tested it through the years. What I've seen is this valve angle, valve seat angle makes a big difference. We modify the valves so we can get a better volumetric efficiency. Obviously, valve springs needs to be done. Push rods needs to be made stronger. So basically, your geometry of your rocker shafts and stuff that has to be spot on. Yeah.
Okay.
So where you can gain power with these engines over other engines. This is a push rod motor, obviously. So the cam sits in the motor. So let's say you do a 9mm lift cam spec. Then you can also alter rocker ratio, which will give you a higher lift. So you can play two ways of getting more power. Where another motor's got a cam on top of the head, you can't do that. Whatever you grind it to, it stays there. That's why mostly overseas they prefer push rod motors, the V8s and stuff that makes big power. It's because of that. You've got two ways to play with. Yeah, so that's basically on the head. Block is still stock. We use the A14 S block. Anything from 2000 and up, they stopped these motors in 2008. So from 2000 to 2008, that's the block you want to use because those are lacquer fresh, you know. So your sleeves are not corroded that much, so they're still lacquer thick. There's a turquoise block, well, a motor. We call it a turquoise head. Those are the ones with the steel cranks. So obviously Nissan or Datsun decided to change from manufacturer, and the new manufacturer made better cranks.
When you say turquoise head, is it in color?
Yeah, in color, yeah. Your old models, they used to come with a turquoise. I'll show you now, just now. I've got a couple of them. We just use them for their cranks. Crankshafts are the best. They are made out of steel, fully steel, you don't break them. Your black top, which is your later models, which the block we're using, they've got cast cranks, which is not good for, well, they can handle up to 200 kilowatts, but when you go above them, they just snap. Same with your A15. That's why we don't build A15s at all, except if you do an NA setup. Then an A15, you want that stroke because they don't make 200 kilowatts anyway, so then they last. But for turbocharged A14, turquoise top motor, you use that crank. That's the best crank. Okay. And then obviously rods, you get a couple of places that makes rods. We usually get them made specially for us.
So you get custom made rods for your applications.
Yeah. When you go higher than 300 kilowatts, which not everyone reaches with these engines anyway. Stock rods can take up to 280 kilowatts.
Yeah.
Stock rods. I shit you not. I'll show you ones that I've got in Avonate at that time. When we reached the 290 kilowatt mark, it bended them like this, 280 kilowatts. As soon as you go above them, then they'll start bending. They don't break, they bend. So you're safe. You won't see a rod somewhere through the block.
Yeah.
Except if something came loose, Yeah, and then obviously proper pistons. I like to use the Honda Prelude. In Japan,
You like to use that?
the Honda Prelude pistons.
The what?
You just want to rub that in now, bro. Yeah, Honda Prelude, they came here to SA, but non-turbo.
Yeah.
But
No, anything with Honda is nice.
yeah, well, we're running a couple of different parts. We're running Opel parts, like the trigger wheel is Opel, the coil pack is Opel, and then obviously Honda pistons. So, yeah, those three things, they work together, all from Japan,
Yeah,
So,
for sure. What size pistons?
77 mil. I don't like boring them too much because you crack sleeves on a high boost setup.
Any specific brand that you like using?
These ones, I can't remember what they call them. It's like G-Force something. They come from Japan. The Honda Prelude turbocharged 1500 came in Japan only. They only launched it, so we're using that pistons on my build. So when a client comes to me and he says, okay, listen, I want like a street setup, 120 kilowatts, whatsoever, give him the price. He's like, why so much? And I'm like, you know what, the bottom ends are built the same. From 100 kilowatt up to 250, bottom end stays the same. The reason for that is one day when you want to upgrade, we just work around the engine. We don't have to open up the motor again. So I stick with that all these years. So yeah.
And you use ACL race bearings, ARP fasteners?
Yeah, ACL race bearings.
So you say this motor is going to run at 10?
Yeah, 10.9, 10.8, this is where we want to stop.
Power-wise?
320 kilowatt.
Using this small little turbo?
That's it, yeah.
Explain to me the thinking
Okay,
of a
so
small little turbo.
Mexico, I work with Mexico Direct that makes the turbos. I don't work with our local guys because they get off the shelf stuff like for the SR20 and whatsoever. For the 1400 it's a different story. It's a very small displacement motor. So you have to talk to the right guys that makes the turbos and tell them, listen, this is what I've got.
Yeah.
They want all your information, which is fine. Then they go flow it, like they flow it for a SR20 or whatever car. And then they'll come back to you and tell you, listen, we've done this, we've built a hybrid turbo for you. It flows the best. We can give you 600 horsepower, the turbo capability, for your motor size. And I'm like, okay, how much is going to cost for development, whatsoever? And then they build it for me. And this is my Gen 5 turbo.
When you say Mexico?
Yeah, it's a country, Mexico, yeah. So Garrett, the main manufacturer, sits in Mexico. Yeah. I'm going to show you a box now.
So you speak to the Mexicans?
Yes.
Habla español?
No, we talk over email because, and then I have to put the translation thing on, because I don't know what the fuck you're saying. I don't know. Just build me a turbo, bruh. So yeah, this is the Gen 5 turbo. And then obviously Avonate got the Gen 6 turbo now development.
Okay.
But I think we can still get one more higher, but they're battling with that one.
What size wastegates is?
38 mil.
And this is your own in-house turbo manifolder?
Yeah. But this won't fit in a standard bucket. You have to make space for it,
How much space?
Now, where your shock column sits here. So obviously this area and this, you have to cut that out, reverse it and weld it in nicely so that you have space for a turbo like this, with a branch working like this. So this is my ultimate branch. It works in firing order. So
How many injectors are you going to be using?
only 4, yeah.
What size?
1,500 cc's. Yeah.
Management?
Fueltech 450. FT450, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll show you now. I've already started installing it. Dis lucky van die mond raak droog. Yes, ons praat baie.
Nee, jy praat baie.
He makes me talk a lot like that.
Is it orange juice?
It's a liquid breakfast. It's okay, Ian.
Can we talk transmissions? What gearbox will you be using?
Supra. So basically all Cressida, your non-turbo Supra and your Cressida is basically the same gearbox. It's just the one is a W58, which is your Supra non-turbo. I prefer them. They've got more synchros installed, which is upgraded from the 21R, which is now the 22R. So you can rev that thing 9,000 RPMs. If you pull the clutch in, it stops and you can change gears. But with a normal 21R, you're battling sometimes, it depends how worn it is. So yeah, I prefer the Supra boxes. They work for us.
The diff?
M75 Venture. If I can just get all the Ventures. So I can get those diffs because they're cucks cars now. Yes, it's your battle to get them.
Ladies and gentlemen, you cannot be in the pit lane on the forecourt. It's only for drivers. Please, guys.
So this is my personal made ring gap machine.
Okay.
Yeah, so you hook your rings in there, and then obviously when you're grinding them, you can see exactly how much you're taking off to get your ring gaps right. Yeah, and then obviously this is my crank dyno. I call it my crank dyno. Okay, this one has not been polished yet. I'll show you the machine where we polish them. We do everything in-house. I don't send anything out. Due to the fact everybody wants to work according to the book, you know, standard specs. And if you build performance motors, you can't go according to standard specs. So, I'll say. So it's got a little roller bearings. Just modify it a bit there. And then once you turn the crank, if you come this side, you can see if there's any run out. Like this one, what it picks up now is like a little bit dust because it hasn't been polished yet. So when that shows you it's solid straight, that's a crank you can use. But once it runs out, you can just chuck it in the bin. This motor is hooked up with a fuel injection system. So when a client orders a complete fuel injection setup for us, maybe they're in Cape Town or whatsoever, we do a startup map here. So you'll see I've modified this. So basically it's an old G-clamp we've modified. We can put any injector in there. So when I build a client, okay, the new ones look a little bit better than this. Still the same design, but then I don't have to take his fuel injection and put it on here and dirty it up. So I'll just put the injectors in, put his management on, and I do a startup map for him. So I'm going to start this up for you. Fuel is a bit low. Yeah, my contact. So that's basically the tune. Then we can go into the fuel maps, and then we just do a basic startup map. So once they install it themselves, the car will start, and then you can just take it to his closest dyno car. You know? Yeah. So that's the basic thing about it. Sounds like a Honda, eh?
Not quite, but I'll let you off today.
So this is more the manufacturing area. Here we grind stuff, here we polish stuff, here we weld stuff. This is also a dummy motor. This is just a dummy. So basically this is an illustration of your inside of your motor bay, your shock column. So when I do a turbo conversion, I make sure it clears this. Once it clears this, it will clear the customer's car. This is the gearboxes we use, which is your W58, 22R.
What do these cost?
We battled to get them lately. They go for about 6.5, 7K. Busy wiring up this management system, the FT450. The thing that I found very odd with this installation of this management, they give you all the outputs and inputs. That's all they give you. Not like your whole tech where you get everything. You just run your wires and connect them. Yeah, you have to basically build up a complete starting board. Like you have to put in your own fuse boxes. You have to put in everything, which Holtec's got already. So yeah, it took me a while. That's basically now the circuit panel, just to start the circuit panel. So we have our coil relay, we have our injector relay, ignition, fuel pumps, everything. So this I've wired up all myself. Had to make a custom bracket. We took the radio out. He doesn't want any radio in this.
You enjoy wiring?
I smoke it, eh?
Why is that?
It's just lekker to fucking play with wires, you know? This is a 10-second one we're busy building. And then also this client of mine is the same as me. which I like.
What is that?
Pedantic, ADHD, whatever you call it. Everything has to be on its place. So like you can check every bolt here. This bucky is a full-on restoration. Full on. Every bolt, every nut, grease nipples even. You know. So yeah. Cold track system. Brand new diff. M75 Detroit locker system. 31 spline. They call it a cold track system. So how this basically works is, you know, when you pull off, this usually bends, right? Which makes an S form, and it forms shutter. So what happens now is when your diff tilt, because of back rear drive, always your diff tilts when you're pulling off. So when your diff tilt, this pushes this triangular forward, and it pushes weight down onto your feather, which will take out the warp.
Okay.
That happens on all leaf spring setups. So he wanted this in, so we catered for that. We changed the shock angle. On a normal 1400, it sits, there's the old brackets there. It sits like this, which means it's for road use sideways.
Yeah.
Right? When you turn them up, when this helps with squatting. So when the bucky makes power, it forces it down. It takes the shocks right down with your diff. So that gives better traction. So
Okay.
we've done that, and obviously we call this our leather bars. So when you're running a bigger tire, you can adjust the suspension like you want to.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the left lane being a 1560 close.
Can we talk about what you saw now, please?
Back to the little bit of wiring done.
Yeah, the injectors are finished. Driver's slow on the gear change, is not missing the shift points. It's spinning a lot, the tires are finished. But he's run his personal best.
Now?
Yeah, 10.6.
Okay.
We changed the car from a intercooler to a charge cooler. I think we scored the car needs 30% more fuel in the mid-range, so it's a lot better. So this was like a last-minute event, like I'm going racing, okay, I'm coming.
Fits 2.2s, how much more improvement can you find with going forward with?
We can chase the boost. Boost is also working.
What's the boosting?
1.2. I'll show you.
What's that?
2.187
2.18.
ethanol. From my bucky, we boost it 3 bar. It must just stay together, yeah.
But you've been with us back since the start, though.
No, along the way, since he put Altec, I've been with him. So we've gone from 11s to the 10s, consistently 10s. Yesterday, unprepped, we ran 10.7. Yeah, so today, first run 10.6. I'm sure we'll go better. I'm sure if we got a fresh set of tires, we'll go like a 10.2, hopefully.
So this thing's definitely a 9-second
I think we need to do work to get there, but it's not impossible. I think we've seen it with the other Bucky has gone 9s consistently. I don't see why this one can't catch it. But I think we need horsepower, we need fuel, we need turbo, we need injectors. The gearbox is standard gearbox. Yeah.
But compared to all the other buckies, well, 90% of the buckies in South Africa, they're all running 4AGEs and Mazda motors and what have you. This is still a little 1400.
And it delivers. It's on point. I wouldn't, I can't see, unless you're going as fast as Richard, I wouldn't go to a different engine.
When he goes down, does he switch on the radio?
I don't know, he's maybe smoking pipe also.
For the tunes there, so our viewers can see that there's a radio.
You know what a fight it's been to take the seat out. I've asked him to put the thing on the diet.
I'll take a fuel tech.
I'll take for me any day.
What's happening here?
This is a motor we're busy building. CP Carello pistons, which is out of a Honda.
So do
It's out of the Honda. Let me show you. Honda Auto 1.6 litre.
That's right.
Yeah, so this is the piston we went for the compression ratio and the boost he wants to run.
That's why these cars go so quick.
You know, they play a big role. These pistons, I like them. I smoke Honda pistons, you know. Yeah, so we've basically done the head. We've done a surface skim. And we've done a small flow, just a clean flow. We didn't port it. We don't want it big because a turbo motor doesn't like. On these motors, the turbo motor doesn't smoke it. So we've done a surface clean, new studs. We've done a Tomei spring kit. We'll be revving this thing 8,000 RPMs as well. And then there's all the valves from start to finish. Also, we surface the front, which is usually corroded because these motors are old. And then also we do the back, and then also brand new valves plug. So yeah,
Very cool. And these are the Honda pistons?
Honda pistons, and then there's a company called Max Speeding. They do I don't know where they actually came from because we usually get this custom made, these rods. And these rods are already made for a 1400. It even states the Nissan A14, A15, which is a Max Speeding rod, straight fit with ARPs. The only thing you have to do on these is an oil squirter hole you have to drill in, which is common on your standard rod, which this doesn't come with. So that's a challenge to drill in because these rods are cuck hard. That's fucking hard. So we managed to get the right tips to drill them through. So yeah, we use these rods as well. And then this is basically our branch. This is our standard 1400 turbo branch.
Okay.
So yeah, everything lekker, solid. I don't like using stainless steel for the reason, stainless steel is because I've been in the metal industry for a long time before I went on my own doing what I'm doing now. I'm a specialized welder and all that cuck. But anyway, stainless steel, I don't like, a lot of folks go for stainless steel branches. I don't like going for stainless steel branches. The reason for that is stainless steel gets red hot because these things, they glow. Once you boost them, they glow. So it gets red hot, it cools down. So you actually glazing it. Stainless steel glazes because it's a very hard material. Then you start getting cracks eventually and stuff like that. Steam pipe, your ordinary steam pipe, JRS bends. These things are made with carbon and stuff like that. So they're made to get hot, cold. And that's why they last for years and years and years. Yeah. And also, I'm not a fan of wrapping branches. Not a fan at all because it flakes. So a branch will last you like a year, and then it's actually corroded through because of the heat. It needs to breathe air. Yeah. So once you wrap it down, you exhaust after your turbo. You exhaust. That's fine. But these things that get red hot, never wrap them. Okay. That's why I don't like turbo blankets as well because it actually messes up your turbo housing. Okay. That's what I've discovered. So yeah, that's our standard branch. Works quite well. We call it a Spitfire branch. Wag nou, Joe, wag. Stop my ding.
the home of Evernator.
Nee, wag. Die fucking... Don't type that shit.
No,
Jy gaan dit fucking type, ek ken
Nee,
jy. Wag nou. Tell me when you're ready.
I'm ready.
You're always fucking ready.